Welcome everyone to the call, and today I'd like to introduce Jose. He's actually been a part of Agora here for a while, and we haven't done a call with him in probably a number of months here, a little while, so I wanted to update and let you guys know that this is one of the options you have. And just Jose is very professional, enjoy to work with him. He gets back to you quickly, and just a real joy to work with. He's got some really good products here. And I'm going to have him go over with you. We've updated. He actually updated his name and went through a couple changes. This used to be called National Corporate Credit. Now it's Entrepreneur Funding Source, so e-funding source. So we're very excited. He's, like I said, he's been here for quite a while, and he was referred to us by Keith. And so, Jose, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you, Vince. Appreciate it.
So Jose,
working with you.
Yeah, so we're appreciate you being up on the call. And if you go over and just tell us a little more about yourself and about your business and what we have to offer here.
Absolutely, absolutely. So thank you guys for joining us and being able to join me as well for this conference. Basically, I've been in the industry in funding for over 7 years. I started with cash advances and offering small loans to small business owners. And as actually time progressed, I started adding more and more resources to the services that we offered. And from there on, I've been in business for over 5 years now, like incorporated. I've actually started as a small business owner myself, and I still own a marketing agency. So I understand the frustrations and all the needs that an entrepreneur needs, not just from the beginning stages, but also from the stages of growth and expansion. Okay, so a lot of our clients, they end up being startups, nonprofits, online marketers, and then we also have a lot of clients and a lot of that are salespeople that actually work a 9-to-5 job, and all they need is just some sort of funding for their clients. So we get a plethora of clients and types of businesses that we have. So the average funding that we've actually been able to raise it up to $350,000, but because of the amount of services that we offer, we can actually do over $5 million. So it's just been an honor and a pleasure being able to work with existing businesses, entrepreneurs that are in the works, and looking forward to helping you guys out, and not only in expanding you guys' services, but also in helping you guys grow. Do you want me to go over the program now, Vince?
Yeah, if you could, you can go over the program here, and I'll just scroll down and just tell me where you'd like me to go about,
Yes, all right. So basically, we have two major programs that we're pushing through that are some of our main resources. One of them is a term loan program, okay? This is going to be the most popular, and the other is a business line of credit, okay? Both of them have a similar criteria. The business line of credit that we offer, they require at least a 700 credit score. No open bankruptcies, no open tax liens. As you guys can see on the screen and also through your website, you'll be able to access all those requirements. They can get up to $350,000. Okay, there is no limit on what they can use the funds for. So it is credit based. That means that they don't necessarily have to have a business per se. If it's a startup, we can help them or even guide them into creating a corporation. So even though the corporation is only a couple of days or even an hour, an hour old, we can still help them raise money. Having said that, the percentages, the interest rates on these particular credit lines, they do start at 0% interest rate for at least 6 months to 12 months. Okay, that's the introductory rate. We do have other credit lines that do start at a low, but it could be as low as 5%. I have seen it as 3.99%, but average is 5%, and it can go as high as 18.99%. But don't let that scare you though, because the percentage that we have, that's 18.99, those are for people that don't necessarily have good credit. And most of our clients, like I said, you need to have at least a 700 credit score in order for us to be able to help you. Now, when it comes to the funds, you can actually use them for any purpose. I'm not saying that this is one of the purposes per se that you should promote, but we do have a lot of dispensaries that have been able to get funding from us. As you know, or as many of you guys might know, The banks don't touch those industries because of obvious reasons. But with our type of funding, there's not a lot of businesses that we're not able to do or to fund. That's because the money that we give out is actually given to the individual and based on the individual's credit and not the business type. That means that if somebody's starting a business, no matter what it is, as long as they have the minimum criteria, which is like a 700 credit score, no open bankruptcies, no open tax liens, less than 40% debt to income ratio, and realistically no more than 4 to 5 inquiries per year, we can go ahead and help them. So we can go ahead and provide the funding for those guys. In addition to that, if you want to scroll down a little bit, Vince, and then we can go over the term loans. Term loans are pretty much similar, okay? As you can know, it has somewhat similar criteria. The only difference is that it has actually more, there's a little bit more room. As you can see, instead of a 700 FICO score, the minimum should be at least a 650 FICO score. We do ask for the individual to have some sort of income. It doesn't have to be coming from a job. It could be from the business, but they do need to show some sort of income. And we also need their paycheck stubs, just as proof of income. Also, their tax returns could be proof of income, 1099, and so forth. The requirements for this: 650 FICO score, no open bankruptcies, no open tax liens, less than 30% debt to credit ratio, and also no more than 4 to 5 inquiries. So if you notice, it's similar criteria. The only difference is that the expectations for this particular program is a lot less. And the beautiful part about this program is that they actually receive the funds in cash, so they get a wire transfer directly to their account. The interest rates could be as low as 4%, and it could be as high as 13%. But it is based on their credit. So I have seen I have seen interest rates that can go up to 20% plus. But again, that's just based on their credit. So as long as they meet the minimum criteria, we shouldn't have to get to that high interest. The 6% is really the average APR for this program. And then the rates for this would be anywhere from 5 to 7 years. So if we give out somebody $30,000, it could be a 5-year, 7-year, up to 7 years in terms. Okay. Here's what I need. Here's what this is all that we ask. Can you go to the next page, Vince, the one where it has the application? Yeah. So in order for you guys to get started or to refer over a client, you just need to fill out this application that you see on the screen. It asks for the Agora advisor, of course, because that's how we're going to be able to link it back to you, and you can get credit for it. When this is filled out, what we need is to have a copy of the credit report. The credit report has to be a 3-bureau report. Okay, so it has to have TransUnion, Equifax, and TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. And as long as that is attached, then we should be able to get a quote for the client. And the quote's going to be coming within 24 hours. But as long as you do it before 2 p.m., okay, before 2 p.m. Central Time, we should be able to send you a quote that day as well. Once that is sent over, a copy of the report, I have actually a team of underwriters that all they do all day is just pretty much they look at reports. That's all they do. And when they're looking at the report, they'll go ahead and look at the report just like any bank would. They'll go ahead and analyze the inquiries, they'll analyze the history, they'll analyze everything that we need to do that we need to see in order to give them a quote. Okay? Once we take a look at the report, we'll get back to you and we'll let you know how much money the client is actually qualified for. From that point on, you'll have to make a decision. Well, the client will make a decision on whether or not they want to move forward. If they do decide to move forward, they'll go ahead and set up an appointment with my underwriter, and we will take them step by step through the entire process. Okay? It is very easy. It's very fast. Average funding is usually about 2 weeks. but it could be as low as 3 to 5 business days, as long as they have all their documents in a row and everything runs smooth. It has never gone over a month. And then again, this is something that we mostly do the heavy lifting for the client, so they don't have to necessarily be checking their email and doing all those extra things. Okay. Let me see what else. Once we go ahead and push everything through, and you'll get a constant update, of course, of where we're at with the client. So how much money we've been able to raise, and all that. There's a commission structure. Vince, if you can go ahead and show a little bit of the commission structure. Yeah. So in the commissions, here's a breakdown of kind of how we have it set up. So this is only an example of how much money we raise. So if we raise $50,000, then your commission's $450. We raise $100,000, and your commission's $900. The average funding amount for a line of credit is usually around $80,000, and the average for a term loan is $120,000. But keep in mind that whenever a client goes through, they usually get both. They end up getting both the term loan and they get the line of credit. What we're here to do is to help them get the funding that they're needing and that they're requiring. So of course, if somebody needs $500,000, then we're going to go ahead and do what we can to get them the full $500,000. In addition to that, you guys have access to my contact information. If you want to click on the button that has my contact information, Vince. Yeah. So if you guys want to reach out to me directly, I'm here for you guys. I appreciate Vince. I appreciate Agora Vantage. So what I've done is I do have a team of consultants, of course, that will help me. And usually they are the ones that will be reaching out to your clients. But for you guys, if you guys have a specific question, you can feel free to contact me directly at the number that's on the website, which is 847-302-8302. Now this is my business cell phone number, so you guys can actually text me here as well if you guys want. You can also send me an email and with any questions that you guys may have, and my job is to make sure that you guys are well taken care of. If it is something that requires like immediate attention, just go ahead and call me directly. Or if it's with a client, I can also get on the phone, or I can have one of my consultants get on the phone with you guys as well. Whatever is going to be more convenient for the situation. Okay. Did I miss anything? And if you guys have any questions, like for example on the FAQs, you guys can click on the FAQs. We actually have some frequently asked questions here. For example, if you guys want to get a little more situated with how the program works or even how credit works, this is a great resource. So, these are questions that a lot of our clients, they ask us. Like for example, if it's going to affect their credit, if they should go against personal credit or business credit, what do they look for? What do we look for when it comes to looking at their credit? So you'll get a chance to see that. You don't necessarily have to know all this, because our underwriters will be taking care of it, and we're the ones that go over all of these questions usually with the client. But it is important for you guys to know as well, because you guys are business owners as well, so it would definitely help you. But if you guys have any questions on those questions as well, just reach out and just say, hey, can you go over a little bit more about what you mean by this? And I'll be happy to answer that for you guys. If you guys have any questions, like I said, you can always reach me directly. Did I miss anything else, Vince, or anything in particular?
Yeah, I wanted to
go over.
Yeah, could you bring up also about the soft pull and that not affecting their credit? I know over here in the forms we mentioned that they can add this, but you also have the way to do a soft pull on a credit. Could you kind of go over that?
All right. So we keep in mind that whenever a client pulls their own credit, it's a soft pull. That means that it will not affect their credit. It will not show up as an inquiry. Okay? So there's a soft inquiry and there's a hard inquiry. The hard inquiry are the inquiries that you get that show up on your credit when you go out shopping for a vehicle or when you apply for a credit card. Well, when you do that, you're showing the lenders that you're shopping around. Okay? Usually it's not a bad thing because as a consumer, you want to get the best offer out there. You want to get the best loan for a car, or you want to go ahead and get the best credit card. But the problem is that when you do it too many times, you show up as a risk, because now you're applying everywhere. And what you're telling the lenders is that, number one, you're desperate. Number two, more than likely, the previous lender either gave you already a credit card or a loan, or they denied you. So if you show up more than 4 times, then that's not a good thing anymore. Now you're just a risk. So that's when you'll typically apply for a credit card or a loan, and you'll get an automatic denial. Okay, that's how they work. When somebody goes through our program, they are not going to get an automatic denial because we're not pulling their credit. I would prefer for our clients to go, or for your clients to pull their own credit from Experian.com or CreditCheckTotal.com. And if they do that, then they'll just send it to you via email, and then that's how they upload that directly to that website. Okay. Once they do that, I get a copy of that report, and then I have my underwriters analyze it just like banks would. Okay. If for whatever reason, if the client is having an issue in pulling their own credit, okay, if they're saying, oh, I'm having issues with the credit, it's not loading, it's just horrible, go ahead and send me an email that the client is having issues with pulling their credit, and I can send you over a link in which we will pull their credit, but it won't be a hard pull. It would be a soft pull. The only difference is that the reason why we avoid this option is because even though we do have a special arrangement with Experian where we actually get a copy of the report, they do charge us for every time that we pull their credit. So preferably we would like for the client to pull their credit. Otherwise, if they are having an issue, like I said, we'll go ahead and do it for them. We just don't want to do it for all the thousands of people that we usually help out. So that would be a lot of money for a lot of credit reports. So we'll do that. We'll do that in occasions if the client's having a challenging time pulling it. We'll just do it for them. But yeah, does that answer the question, Vince? Is that good enough?
Yeah, it does. And what I'll do is I'll open. Yeah, that's very important to let you guys know, that soft pull, because it does harm people's credit. And you get someone out there and they don't get approved. I didn't even get approved and they pulled my credit, because not everyone has the best credit. That's why it's good to get get familiar with, if you come back over here, some of the things that they're looking for right here, very important. If they go into it already kind of knowing some of this stuff, then your chances of them getting the loan will be a lot higher.
Absolutely, and that's one of the beautiful things about what we do. That's our biggest selling proposition, because our competitors, the way they do it is where they'll go ahead and pull your credit before they even know how much money they'll give you. So just so you guys know the difference between us and our competitor, there are companies out there that will go ahead and provide the funds over to to the clients as well, but they'll give them, number one, they will give them a soft approval amount, just like we will. But the challenging part becomes when they go ahead and decide to move forward. When a client decides to move forward with other companies out there, the companies are basically officially pulling their credit, meaning that they're coming into hard pulls, and they'll get a multiple of at least 5 to 6 different lenders, okay, different loans. Well, guess what? When you have the 5 to 6 different loans, those are 5 to 6 different inquiries. And they become a challenge because the client might not even like the actual interest rate. They might not like the amount of money that they'll end up getting. But because they signed the agreement and because they've already been pulled, they have no choice but to take the money. And if they don't take the money, then they just lost out on all the funding. And then plus they do risk of them violating their agreement with the company, and then they can be sent to collections basically. With us is the opposite. Not only do we give people the choice to pick and choose the loan offers that they can get, but also it doesn't affect their credit even after they receive the official quote. Okay, when we could have, let's say we have 10 different loan options, right? We have 10 different loan options that we'll give out someone. We'll say, okay, this lender is giving us $10,000 for 5% interest for 6 years. This lender is giving us $30,000 for 5% interest for 7 years. And this lender is giving us $50,000 for 5 years and this percent of interest. Well, the client's going to have an option to pick and choose which one he wants or he or she wants. And then they'll also have the option to pick all of them or pick none of them. If they pick none of them, then guess what? We're not going to send them to collections because, again, we're here to help them. If they don't pick any of them, of course we're going to try and help them and to see why they're not picking any of them. But if it doesn't make sense financially for them, we're not expecting them to go and move forward. If they don't pick them, it doesn't affect their credit scores. All of a sudden, all they did was just obviously wasted, their time and unfortunately our time. But it's okay though, because again, it's a learning curve. We want what's best for the client. We don't want what's best just for our pockets because we're not here to make money off of the clients. We're here to help them. If you serve, our philosophy is that if we serve with the right intention, the money is going to come anyway. But that's how we've been able to grow and to let people know that we're here to help them. We're not here to just make money off of them. We're here to actually help them. And again, if the solution makes sense, then we're going to go ahead and do our best to give them the best rates, give them the best offers, and hopefully we can help them and they can pick and choose whichever loan offers they want. Once they do pick the offers, though, I do want you guys to know is that once they do pick the official offers, then there will be a hard inquiry. But again, they already know what interest rate they're going to get. They've already known the amount of money they're going to get. So they already know all the terms that comes with the loan. So that way, if they are going to get a hard pull, they already know what to expect. It's no longer a hit or miss whether we'll get them what they want. Okay.
That's great. Yeah, one thing I enjoy working with Jose is you're going to find out that he's very professional. He picks up his phone and gets back to you right away. Very, very professional in all that he does. And I really like that soft pull thing because I worked with a client one time and he was promised, this is a while back, and he was promised a deal. And a hard pull was done. And then we found out he didn't qualify, but then the guy also came back with rates and terms that he didn't need, that were ridiculous, and it wasn't what he was told he was going to get. So it's very important, who you go with, and professionalism is very important to us. So Jose is very, very professional and good to work with.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Vince. Yeah, our goal is that what I was mentioning to Vince before, the reason why we're big on not only customer service but also big on just overall service is because we're not just representing our company, we're representing you. We're representing Agora, I'm representing Vince. Not only that, but I'm also representing each and every one of you guys, because each and every one of you guys have your own brand, and we all know how difficult and sometimes challenging it can be to grow a successful brand. So the last thing we want is for you guys to refer someone to us and then that person's not happy with us. So we take that very seriously. We're representing you, each and every one of you guys. So we want to do our best to go ahead and put our best foot forward all the time, every time.
With that being said, I can open up for questions. Sometimes they're on. Let me double check here. Like I said, this will be recorded. It's being recorded actually, and that will send a copy of this we'll have in the back office here. And are there any questions out there? Maybe someone can type them in if they have any. But this is definitely a very good option for you. You have a lot of business owners that need loans and they need help and they need to find them. So, Jose, thank you for being on the call today.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Are there any questions out there? If not, you did a great job.
Awesome. And again, if you guys do have questions after the call, even though this is recorded, just feel free to go ahead and click on the contact button, and then just feel free to send me any text messages or call me, or you can also email me those questions, and I'll be happy to respond to them, and we can go from there.
Perfect. Jose, we thank you for being on the call today, and and just offering a great service here for Agora. This is something very valuable for us to have because there's a lot of business owners that are in situations where they need loans to help their business.
Absolutely. Thank you.
With that being said, then we'll end the call today. Thank you very much.